Hello, hello,
That's
hello. Welcome to Two Fans, One Octagon, the MMA talk, breakdown, betting podcast. I am Brandon. This is Johnny. We are going to look into Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, UFC 296. Happened a couple days ago on Saturday. Get our reactions, what we want to see in the future. We're going to go over it all. Johnny, I guess start off. Initial thoughts overall.
I mean, like I was telling you earlier, I had a birthday party to go to, so I was watching this shit, stream it while, I couldn't 100% devote all of I could hear everything, so I know exactly everything what happened, but when you're driving, I can't fucking just look at this shit constantly. And like I'm at a
No.
dinner, and actually there's people on the other tables that were watching the Paddy Pimblett fight too. Fucking
Nice.
dudes had it on their phone. But initial thoughts, I mean, I did see the first 3 rounds of Colby versus Leon, and I remember sending you that cash out that I had for that parlay that I was about to hit.
I told you to
And
take it. And Colby.
yeah, I mean, no one can predict Colby Covington, who's been like, his whole career is pressure, wrestling, and him coming out like a fucking like he
And
aged 10
essentially
years.
doing nothing for 5 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that the stand up wasn't going to be remotely close, but I thought that
He usually at least bangs.
I don't know. I guess if we had to put it down to something, I'm assuming it's not training at American Top Team. It's all the damage he took versus Kamaru, and he probably like until he got notified by Dana, he probably thought like, "Fuck, that was it. I lost to Kamaru. I'm not going to get another title shot." So he probably was just keeping healthy and shit. But I mean, look at him. He looked awful.
No, he really did. So I am going to switch the screen share real quick to the fight card, and then we'll go over it.
And I don't even people can talk shit about Leon for how boring that shit, but bro, if you're a champion, like he's got to come to you. Of course, he's
Yeah, and
going to coast.
I have no problems with how Leon fought.
Yeah, it's boring as fuck, and I'm never going to buy a pay per view of Leon's until he fights someone good. But I don't know.
All right.
You can't.
No, 100%. So we're gonna go from the top to bottom today because we basically just went over the main event. Um, yeah, Colby Covington, super disappointing. He basically got gifted the title shot, and then he said what he said at the press conference, and then for him to come out the way he did was just embarrassing. Um, didn't shoot a takedown until like round two. His takedown games was looked terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Leon was taking him down with much more ease than, he was taking out Leon. Yeah, not impressed at all in this fight. Colby's gonna have to do some work to get his way back. He called out Wonder Boy. So I think it's funny that he just fought for the title and he's gonna call out Wonder Boy instead of Shavkat. But he's gonna do what he wants to do. Leon, for him, I think it's obvious Bilal has to be next. He
I
was
think so
piecing
too.
up, yeah, right. It has to be. Uh,
100%.
I think he was piecing up Bilal in that first fight until he poked his eye. So so Bilal has gotten better since then. So I'm curious to see what happens, but I think I would have Leon in that fight as well. But yeah, I thought Leon did everything he needed to. He was dominant. I think he won the first 4 rounds and then lost the fifth. And even when he lost the fifth, he didn't take any damage, so he can
So
fight
what
soon.
happened in the fifth? I missed the fifth and fourth round.
Fourth round was essentially the same as the first three,
Yeah.
just domination. Colby couldn't do anything. I think Leon got a takedown in the fourth, even. He did
Dude, I
not.
remember Leon taking him
Yeah,
down. I'm like, are you fucking
he
serious?
did get him onto the ground and he went for a submission. Fifth round. Leon got a takedown, then Colby got one at the end, and then just held him for the rest of it, and just threw a bunch of like pitter patter body shots.
Oh
And
my
then
god.
at the end of the round, got up and did the belt on himself and thought he won, which was ridiculous. Yeah, no, it was a terrible performance, dude. I have nothing else to say about this fight.
All I could say is like, bro, Kobe, you should not be calling out anybody. You don't call the shots anymore. You're not a draw anymore. No one wants to fucking see your ass fight again. So he needs to take whatever fucking Dana White gives him, and that's it. I don't know.
The reason he was able to get away with all the shit talking foul things he said was because he would always back it up. Even when he lost to Kamara, those fights were awesome.
Yeah, second fight I thought was a little.
It was a little more one-sided.
Yeah, it was a little bit more one sided.
The first one
I
was
think
a
he was
banger,
hesitant.
though.
Yeah, first one he went for that shit, but I don't know. I thought it was funny that even Trump left early. It's like, oh my god, I got the most
Hey,
important
he
person
watched
in
the
the
whole
world.
fight, to be fair. He did watch the whole fight, just not the post-fight.
Yeah, fucking pathetic. Trump
All
only
right.
likes winners. You fucking loser. What?
Agreed. All right, going on to the co-main, another title fight. It was Alexandre Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Um, Go ahead, Johnny. You can take this one away.
But I think I saw most of this one. From what I remember, got it. Granted, I had at least like 3 fucking drinks in me and a couple shots, but I thought it was just Pantoja getting the takedown whenever he wanted, and he's got such good fucking control. Even though Royval's a squirmy little fuck, but from what I remember, because I had Pantoja in my parlay, I was shitting my fucking pants because Pantoja looked gassed,
He looked
just
super gassed.
fucking gassed. And Royval, I thought he was going to put the pressure on and just get fucking insanely busy in the last round, but it looked like he didn't. I don't know if he was tired too. Obviously, he's got to be tired grappling for 4 rounds, but I thought a Colorado guy like himself would be able to push that pace, and he's kind of a guy that always goes for it, and felt like he was a little bit reserved.
Yeah, I know. He definitely looked a little hesitant.
Mm-hmm. Like he knew he couldn't stop the takedown.
So I was looking back at our text messages,
Mm-hmm.
and you said this was after the fourth round. You said, "Where do you think the scorecards are?" And I said, "I personally would judge it at 2-2, 2 rounds for two rounds." And then I
Yeah,
said, "But there's no, but the UFC is obviously going to judge it 3-1 Pantoja
because of control.
control time." But I just
Yeah,
personally, I would have gave him the extra round because even when he was getting taken down and controlled, I felt like he was throwing the most on bottom position and landing and doing the most damage. But I totally understand because he was on top for like the majority of the round. But Royval throws so many elbows and shots from his back that it at least makes you have to second guess it, right? I thought it was an exciting fight. I thought Royval should have done more on his feet, especially those last 2 rounds when Pantoja was. It wasn't that he was just tired, but he was visibly tired. You know what I mean? He was
he was
exhausted.
telegraphing all of his punches were just so slow
100%.
motion. But he's a
So,
fucking dog for
oh,
hanging
dude,
in there.
I'm actually a big fan of both of these guys, but Pantoja is a
Mhm.
dog. He's gonna be hard to take that belt away from.
I don't even know who gets the next title shot
It would have to
in
be
that
the
division.
winner of Albazi and who does he fight again?
Moreno?
Yeah, if
No,
Albazi wins, but if Moreno wins, it
I
might
was gonna
go
say
somewhere else.
I don't want to see Moreno in another title shot. I'm sorry. He needs to fight like two guys minimum.
No, for sure. Manel Cap and Kayakara France, once they book that, they could do the winner of that. But then Pantoja's
Eh,
like waiting the whole year to fight, you know?
fuck Kai.
And
I love Kai to death. But
he's
nah,
so
man.
much fun to watch, but he's
It
like
was
second tier.
frustrating. Yeah, it was frustrating that Albazi fight. Just
All
felt like
right.
he could have pushed the pace.
I want to do this next fight.
I'm just
My
gonna say
boy.
I told you so.
My boy. So,
Mhm.
first round, Shavkat just hugs him against the fence. does really nothing. Stephen Thompson's just he's being dominated in terms of control, but was throwing more. I thought it was doing the more damage. Even Joe Rogan on the broadcast was like, "Well, who won that first round?" I think they scored it for Shavkat, but I think that is a scoring and rule flaw that needs to be looked into in judging. Because
Yeah,
it's kind of like that Patty Jared Gordon third round, if you remember. Jared
yeah.
Gordon had the control time the whole time, but Patty was throwing more and they gave the round to Patty. And then they did the opposite in this fight. And, Shavkat did his thing in the second round, especially with it being reported he came in with like an ankle injury. Very
Bro, yeah,
impressive.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think he's got a serious
Shavkat's,
ankle injury.
he's legit. But at the end of the day, if the Stephen Wonderboy Thompson Colby fight happens, I can definitely see Thompson winning after what we just saw. And if he wins, he just beat like probably what's Colby going to be the number 2 or 3 ranked guy in the division. So then Tom Wonderboy off a loss gets a higher ranked opponent and could be right back in the mix, which is crazy.
Hmm.
Shavkat next. I'm curious to see what they do. Maybe a Usman. Maybe if Bilal loses, he fights Bilal.
Um,
Because he's gonna have to
is
wait.
Gilbert Burns fighting Bilal, or am I tweaking?
No, 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 no. I don't think either one of them have a fight booked yet,
Dude, give Rachmanov Gilbert Burns.
for sure. But the thing is, how long is he gonna have to be out? Because Gilbert's probably at the point where he needs a fight, right? So that could just be a timing thing. So we'll see who's available when he's healthy. But I love that.
Mhm.
I love the idea of a Burns Shavkat fight. That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
really test Shavkat. Oh
Honestly,
fuck.
I will always watch a Gilbert Burns fight.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Also, well, one more thing on this fight. Tenacious D. Come on, what an entrance by Wonderboy.
No, I just gotta say one more thing too. I think it says way more about Shavkat with a fucked up ankle. He can sub a guy that's never been subbed in his entire career.
Oh, 100%.
I know that he's
Say
getting
what you
pieced
want
up
to say
by.
about Wonderboy, but he is a gritty son of a gun, dude. He will not tap. He will keep fighting. But
Uh-huh.
to tap Wonderboy, that was one super, super tight. It kind of looked like a neck crank, but he was kind of under the chin. So it was kind of in between a rear naked neck crank. But
Yeah,
yeah, no, great win. Shavkat's legit.
I
Future
think he's
champion,
legit
I
as fuck.
believe, for
He got
sure.
pieced up on the feet, but I think that's just because his ankle was fucked up.
Well, that and Wonderboy basically pieces up everyone on the feet. It's the
Yeah,
grappling other side of it that is his
right. That
huge
karate
weakness.
stance with the fucking in and out. Yeah, that's hard to
Yeah,
fucking
and he's
get
like
clean shots on.
he's 41-0 kickboxer. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great win. Okay, Johnny, did you watch the Ferguson Pimblett fight? Right?
Um, I watched glimpses of it. So just from what I remember is Patty got the takedown, especially in the third round, got the takedown. But Patty looked gassed in like that third round. I thought Tony was going to come back and maybe put some pressure on him. I
Mm.
thought, from what I remember, Tony was like hitting him pretty good on the fucking feet with some, that awkward style that Tony has. Patty was chin in the air, getting smacked up.
Yeah, he got
Uh,
rocked a couple times.
but other than that, I mean, it just felt like he was able to take down Tony at will, and obviously he hurt him in the second round,
First.
first
In the
round,
first round. He almost
and
finished him right
almost
away.
finished him. But other than that, I still like Patty, and I think that he could do good.
I was
He's going
just
to
about to
keep
say,
improving, but
okay, I understand why people don't like Pimblett,
Mhm.
but from him being one of the most popular guys to like a lot of hate
Bah.
just off of everyone tries to look good in front of their boss, especially when they pay you hundreds and thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? Of course, you're gonna take your boss's side. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, people don't understand. And plus, Pimblett, do I think he's going to be a world champion? Probably not. Is
No
he
chance.
extremely fun to watch though? Yes. He makes his walkouts are awesome. Dude, his interviews are hilarious in my opinion. I don't see what's not to like about Paddy Pimblett. Am I saying he's the best ever? No, but he is a fun fighter that's a great addition to the UFC lightweight division. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
fights, he brawls, he can grapple, he's fun. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Paddy. That first round, I want to touch on that just since you didn't. Um, so it's like I think it's like 1 minute left in the first round. He hits him with either it was a straight hand, wobbles him a
Yeah.
little tiny bit to the point where he gets his back up against the cage. Then Patty comes in, lands a flying knee, and then a hook, drops him, gets on top of him, starts ground and pounding, and Tony just survives to the bell. So if you missed that part, Johnny, I would rewatch the first round. Patty looked amazing, and even in Patty's post fight, he's like, "Yeah, I need to be a little bit more conservative because I used a lot of my energy to try to put him away at the end of the first." So that's probably a huge reason why he did look so gassed in the later rounds. Yeah, he threw more punches, more total strikes, or he landed more strikes in the first round than the other two combined, or it's like identical if you combine the other two.
Yeah.
I thought Patty looked really good. He is going to have to work on his cardio or just, conserve a little bit better. But I had a lot of fun watching the fight. It wasn't, bonus worthy, but it was fun. It wasn't bonus worthy just because Tony didn't really look good.
Tony looked like slightly better in the stand up, a
He
little bit
looked a
quicker,
little
but
bit better. I don't
still.
understand. Like, if you click on Tony, like, what? Eight wins by submission. But in
Mhm.
his losing streak, it looks like he has no ground game whatsoever.
He was a state champion wrestler in like
It's
whatever the fuck Rio Grande.
I don't know what happened, but he is on the
He got
ground, dude.
old.
He's
He
nothing.
got old.
It's not even that, dude. It's just like he's just like it's bad now, dude.
I
All right,
mean,
let's go
yeah,
to the quickest fight on the card. Did you see this?
I did.
All right. So, there's not too much to talk about this fight. Emmett comes in, loads up an overhand right. Um, Bryce tried to hit him with a right hook before he could land. He missed. Emmett lands a nuclear bomb right in between the eyes of our boy Thug Nasty and immediately lights out. And then 20 seconds later, we see his body start to convulse, and it was extremely scary. It took minutes for him to wake up and realize what happened, and then he tried standing up, and you could see his legs going out from under him. Even Joe Rogan on the microphone was like, "Don't let him stand. Get him on a stool," because he was gonna hurt himself because he had no control of his legs still when he was awake. But from the post that Mitchell has, he's had a full recovery. He's doing all right. I hope he takes like half a year at the least off.
He
That was
has
really
to.
scary.
Yeah, he
Literally,
has to.
Josh Emmett threw two strikes the whole fight. Landed
Yeah.
two strikes the whole fight. And just one punch man. And yeah, almost. It was really bad. I thought he might go into a coma. You got anything to add?
Uh, man, when I was watching this, well, first off, my first impression was fuck. Bryce
Same.
looks stiff. Why
I'm
is
a
this guy
big
look?
fan of him too. So it's
I
hard to
love
see.
Bryce too, but this guy looks so fucking stiff right now in the stand up. He's not reacting to anything that, Emmett's throwing in the correct way, and that is to do what fucking got you here. That's duck and initiate the grappling.
That's what I was gonna add too. Like What I know Bryce already said he had a bad game plan, but no shit. You're facing the hardest hitting featherweight, in my opinion. I don't even think it's arguable anymore. And you're
Well,
gonna just try to counter strike him? Are you serious? You're not
yeah,
even a
my thing
striker.
was like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say he's not a striker. You're not gonna outstrike him. You're definitely not gonna hit harder than him. I just didn't understand why he didn't shoot a single takedown in the 2 minutes of the
Right.
fight,
Yeah.
or
And
even
when you
he didn't even
analyze it,
feint one.
further, it's like, has Josh Emmett ever knocked out anybody with a knee? Like, I don't think you even need to worry when you shoot
No,
because he's probably just going to stuff your ass.
he's a
Don't have
power
to worry about.
puncher.
Yeah, he's a power punch, and all he does is throw a fucking overhand right. That's all he does.
Dude,
Taporia
he
fucked
lands
him
it.
up.
Well,
Yeah, he lands it if you fucking let him land it. Like, guys, duck under and initiate grappling, or if you're good at boxing, Taporia, you just gotta fucking, I don't know, duck under, throw a fucking uppercut, or
yeah, Bryce left his head just hanging up there.
you gotta close the distance the moment you see that he's going for an overhand right. I think Bryce tried to, but his stand up was so fucking stiff and awful. All right.
All
I
right,
think
going to
that
the next fight. But yeah, I
yeah,
know
let's
that was
go to the
really
next fight.
disappointing because you and me are both big fans of Bryce. We were hoping to, you know, he was the favorite too. It just hurts.
Mhm.
All right, prelims. Okay, I just would like to make a statement before we start the prelims. The
Yeah.
prelims of this fight card were amazing. They stole the show. They were better than the main card fights, no doubt about it. Every single one of them were really amazing. We'll get to the one. We'll get to the one. There's like one or two that I didn't think were great, but most of them were amazing. Did you go over this one, or you want me to take this one?
I mean, I didn't watch. I don't think I watched any of it. I just know what happened is that Menafield basically had the bigger moments, and Jacoby was better on stand up and the better tactician, but
Yep,
not even tactician. That's the wrong word. He was just better at picking his shots and keeping the pressure. But Menafield just has more power and hit him and hurt
that's
him.
exactly what happened.
Bigger
So,
moments.
Dustin Jacoby, first round was piecing him up, like finding the strikes, landing them, and then I think there was like a minute and a half left. Really lands what was it? A right hook, I believe. Maybe it was a
Mhm.
left, and just drops him right. Stole the round at the end. Second round, Dustin just wins it. Just looks better. It was closer. No real big moments, but he won the second round, Dustin. Third round comes around. He is again winning, piecing him up. Then with like 2 minutes left, again takes a huge shot, gets dropped again, and then you know
But
he just fights to survive the rest of it. And then Menafield stole the third round too, so he stole a decision, winning the first and third round. Dustin looked like the better fighter, but he does a lot of like feints in front and he got a lot of reactions. Like his feints were really effective, but he would do a feint into a feint into a feint, and then Minifield would just be like, "Okay, if you're gonna keep feinting, I'm just gonna punch you in the face." Um, and he just leaves his head a little high. He's a kickboxer, so I
he
don't know.
does do that. He
He
leans
leaves his
forward and
chin
like
open,
faint.
and he got caught twice, and it lost him the fight. And I believe he's the better fighter, but you know. That's it. That's UFC for you, MMA.
He needs to sit down on his punches more and throw like a fucking man.
Yeah, and just like uh, I don't know, man. He has good footwork sometimes, and then sometimes he's just so stationary, and that's when he gets rocked. But
Yeah,
I'm a big
especially
fan of
against the.
I'm a big fan of Jacoby. Minifield, good win. That was 15 versus 14, so I'm curious to see if their positioning even changes. Um, but yeah, we'll see what their fights they get next are. It sucks for Jacoby because he finally got another ranked fighter that's ahead of him, but now he's probably gonna get another fighter below him again. So, that's why you gotta win these fights when they finally give you one. And he was winning. It's just left his chin up till All right, the
Hmm.
fight of the night. I know
I
I've
didn't
told you
watch
about this
any
one.
of it.
Okay, so this fight was a banger, dude. So Rosas had the pressure. She had the volume, but Aldana's punches, they were doing damage. They were rocking her. Both of these ladies, mad respect. I definitely talked shit about this fight going into it. I
That's why
definitely
I didn't
did.
watch it.
I just want to apologize here formally. This fight was amazing, exceeded all of my expectations. This is the best women's fight I have seen in at least in this year. It was amazing, Johnny. I would definitely go rewatch this fight. It was awesome. I honestly have nothing bad to say about either of these women. Rosa just, she showed the damage on her more. Aldana just was landing bombs, especially in the end of the third. I will say Rosa's almost had her finished by leg kick. Her Aldana's one of her legs, I believe it was her left leg, was at the end of the fight. No joke.
Mhm.
Her thigh was twice as big as her other thigh. It was
That's disgusting.
absurd. But wow, this was an amazing fight. Do you have anything to say, John? I know you said you didn't watch it, but man, I knew right away this was the fight of the night. I even texted you that.
I literally had my phone at the dinner table, and I was like, I don't want to watch this fucking fight. I can skip this fight and talk to the boys and everybody.
You missed out,
Turns
brother.
out to be the fucking fight of the night.
Out of all the fights on this card, I don't think no one would have guessed it. But man, if anyone who didn't watch this fight and was like Johnny here and thought you could skip it, rewatch it. It was amazing. All right, going on to the next one. Your boy Cody No Love Garbrandt for the boys versus Brian Kelleher. Go ahead, Johnny. Take us away.
Again, this one was a little bit hazy from what I remember. I remember Cody looking good. Obviously, he's quick. He's got great footwork, but he still leaves openings, and somebody good is going to catch his ass and put him out. And I thought Brian hit him pretty good, but it takes someone with really good technique and a decent amount of power to actually hurt this motherfucker.
Yeah,
Because
you can put his lights out.
Rob Font went a whole 3 rounds with Cody and pieced him up, but didn't hurt him really ever. So I think that Cody, for as much as people make fun of his chin, it's only against the elite fucking guys that he's getting absolutely starched.
It's the superpower house hitters.
Yeah. So from what I remember, just Cody, he goes in, but he throws always hooks. It's never like straight punches.
He is so fast, though. It's honestly so crazy to watch. He'll throw like 5 punches in a matter of a second. It's insane. But when he does do that, it's like he goes in. So he's not a fluid fighter, I would say. He's like, okay, I'm gonna throw this 5-piece combo, and then he goes and does it, which leaves him, like you said, open for a counter. Because
he needs to get out.
yeah, his blitzes are like they're fast and they're powerful, but it's usually like he would run into Brian Kelleher, throw like a 5-piece body, and when you're doing that, his head's up here, both his hands are down low, elbow, a big hook, overhand. You can put Cody out. I don't know. Did you watch Guru's video on matchmaking?
Yeah, I did.
I think he's exactly right on this one. So shout out to our MMA guru, Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz. Make it next. Make the rematch. Cruz is ahead of him on the rankings still somehow. I think that is a very good choice. I
don't agree.
Cruz would do it. I like it. I like it. I think that's a way to get Cody back into the rankings. And I think that's a fight Cruz would actually take because he's like, oh, I already beat him once. I can do it again.
Right. But I think that we'd see a similar thing happen. I think Cody's too fast for Dominic. Dominic in his last fight against Cheeto, for me, just his movement was nowhere near as good as his movement used to be, and
No, he was the
he's
movement king.
I don't know. I think Cody pieces him up
Oh, I
pretty
do. I
good.
think he does too, but I'm saying that is a good ranked opponent where he can get into the rankings again. And Cody still wants to fight. Cruz wants to commentate. I think it's a good way to just keep him on the booth, free up the rankings of people who are just stalling. I hate that. Um,
I'm looking at the
I like
rankings right
that.
now, and it's like, man, Dominic Cruz is number 10, but there's still killers underneath him. Pedro Munoz, Jonathan Martinez, Ricky Simone, Umar Nurmagomedov, and Chris Gutierrez.
Exactly. Who is Cody gonna have a chance with against those? Respectfully.
Uh, tough as
Exactly.
fuck.
That's why I think Cruz is essentially the only ranked matchup you can do at the moment.
Yeah, but
Unless you want to give one of those guys a little bit of hype by just feeding him Cody, future or ex-champion, you know.
I think Chris Gutierrez he does not deserve to be in the top 15. He needs
And
to get the fuck out of there.
regardless, he's not getting Figgy like he called out. There's
No,
no
no, no,
chance.
no.
There's no
No
chance.
chance. No chance at all.
And plus, I think he would get destroyed by Davison.
God, see, when I'm looking at all these guys at the top, it's like, man, Cody,
Bantamweight's a hard division, bro.
who the fuck is he going to survive if he gets hit hard? I don't know if he survives against any of these motherfuckers. Yeah, it's tough.
The first fight of the prelims. We got the women's flyweight bout. We have Casey O'Neill, and we have your girl, Ariane Lipski.
Told you. Told you.
You did. You had this one. I had a
Mhm.
little faith in Casey O'Neill, and I will tell you right now that I will never choose Casey O'Neill to win another fight again.
She's fucking trash.
She's so bad. I don't know what happened to her during her injury. If she like fell down the stairs, hit her head, and forgot everything she ever learned about MMA or something like that. But she was essentially just a punching bag the whole fight. Ariane, I'm not trying to take anything away from her. She brought the pressure the whole time, looked great, got the submission. Honestly, she was very impressive. Give her a bigger name, give her a good bout. Let's get her in the mix. She looked great. Um, Casey O'Neill, let's give her. I don't know. Get her out of the rankings. I don't care.
Who the fuck knows?
I don't even care what they do with her anymore. I could take her easy. Um, Going to the featured early prelim.
I just want to say real quick.
Yeah, no, go
So
ahead.
many
I'm sorry.
predictors.
I should have let you speak.
So many fucking predictors picked Casey O'Neill and picked her.
I did as well.
I'm not going to say with confidence, but for me, it's like Lipski's training with ATT. She looks like she's starting to put everything together. She's defending takedowns really well. That was her main
top team's crazy
fucking
now.
focus. And Casey O'Neill's like, oh, they're like, oh, her fucking volume. I'm like, bro, what volume? Pillow punches? Like, that doesn't do anything. If Ariana Lipski's hitting harder than you, you're not going to be able to throw that volume with those kind of fucking punches coming back at you. I don't.
She didn't even have volume this fight either.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not going to have volume against somebody that's a better striker. Then you're going to be so fucking hesitant because at the end of the day, you don't want to get hit unless you're a fucking absolute dog and don't care. But
that was a really, really bad performance by her. She's gonna lose a lot of hype, and well, I would say she has 0 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, featured early prelim. We have Tagir Ulambekov versus Cody Durden. So, Ulambekov won in the second round in the last minute due to rear naked choke, I believe. This fight, I thought was Tajir kind of dominated it, but
Yeah.
that's gonna sound a little disrespectful because the way Durden fought off submission after submission after submission was incredible. This was one of those fights where it goes to the ground and you do not care. They were super entertaining in all of their grappling exchanges. There's a bunch of great sprawls. Um, Man, this was one of the funnest like ground fights I've seen in a long time, honestly. Um, both of them looked great. Big win from Tajir, submission, looked great, dominated pretty much. Um, but Cody showed a lot of heart. He's a dog. I don't really know what else to say. It was honestly really impressive loss for Cody as well.
I was driving, so I actually had this on in my cup holder, and I could catch glimpses. And I remember like just looking. I'm like, oh fuck, Gear's got rear naked, done. And all I hear is Cody gets out of it. Oh, this chokes in. Cody gets out of it. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy getting out of these
It
chokes?
was honestly so fun to watch. It was crazy.
Yeah, I guess he trains getting out of chokes, but at the end of the day, like how?
Dude, he would
I'd
like
have to go.
he would like like when an alligator bites like an arm and they death roll.
Yeah,
Tajir would get him in a chokehold and he would death roll out of it.
yeah.
It was so
Kobe
crazy to
did that.
see. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
watch like the end of the first, start of the and the whole second round, and it was impressive. It really was.
But yeah, Daddy picked to gear, and I did it by sub
Hey,
too.
we
I
both
just
did.
thought
We both did.
I just thought that yeah, we both did. We you can't pick against the Covs, the Dagestanis, because they're gonna have insane transitions, and they're all extremely responsible when it comes to any certain position. They know how to either get out of it or remain safe.
Yeah,
Or
that's their
reverse.
biggest thing is they never jeopardize their position, right?
Yeah, they're fucking smart as shit in that cage, and rarely do they ever give up a position easily, nor even give up said position. But
That Dagestani Sambo is something else.
really wanted the American Cody to win, but
The Americans did really
what can you
bad this
do?
card.
We're weak men. What can you do?
Okay, now that you brought that up, let's do this. Kobe, USA versus UK. USA lost. USA versus Brazil. USA lost. USA versus Kazakhstan. USA lost. USA versus UK. UK won. US lost. Then we had US versus US, so we get a pity win out of that. Then we had another pity win with two USA guys going. Then we had another America versus America.
We
Then we
can
had
only beat
America
ourselves.
versus Russia. Russia won, USA lost. The only US guy who won fighting another country was our boy Andre Feely. So let's go straight into that bout. That's the next one. This was the second fight on the card. Featherweight bout. We had Andre Feely versus Lucas Almeida. So going into this one, this was the first round KO TKO by Andre Feely. Lucas Almeida looked, I don't want to sugarcoat it too much. He just looked terrible. He threw a couple good leg kicks. His leg kicks, that was definitely the high point of his game personally. But every time he threw anything, he would just stand stiff as a board straight up, and Andre would clip him. And then, at like the 3 minute mark, he hit him with a big right hook. Lucas Almeida fell on his back. Andre followed it up with some big hammer fists. They called it. Andre Feely looked great. Lucas Almeida looked like trash. I think I could take him in a fight, and I've never been in a fight in my life.
He'd smoke you.
I would kick his ass, but
He'd
Lucas Almeida,
smoke you so fast.
if you see this, comment in this YouTube video, and I'll meet you somewhere, and I will Andre Feely you in the first round.
Bruh, he'd make a ginger stew out of your ass in about 2 seconds.
Boy, I'll make him look like Glover's retirement bout.
Yeah,
And he's Brazilian. Everyone's gonna walk out on him too. No one will ever remember he was a fighter after I'm done with him.
That was pathetic. Fuck, can't
That
believe
fight.
Brazilians did that
Honestly,
shit.
do you have anything else to add though? Andre Feely, huge win for him. Happy for him. Almeida,
No,
he's just so stiff, chin up in the air constantly.
yeah, another one. I think I just caught glimpses of it, and especially the finish I looked at when it happened. But
The finish was nice.
I just thought Andre Feely looked so good against fucking Nathaniel Wood, and
Yep.
he looked like he was putting everything together. And
I knew
Lucas Almeida,
I knew I should have went with my gut and went with Feely,
Yeah.
but my dumb I don't know. I just had something that told me,
I think
he's
Almeida's
gonna.
pretty good, but he probably just had one of those fucking off nights. Looks
Yeah, it
stiff
was.
like Bryce did.
It was
Like
just
you're
so
gonna have it. You
bad.
can't be perfect. But Feely against Wood just
Wood's a fun
arguably,
fighter as well.
yeah, Wood won that fight, but arguably maybe damage. But I would still pick Wood for that win, which
Same.
rightfully so he did. But he looked really fucking good in that fight, and
Hey, if
I
anyone
got nothing
hasn't
more to
seen that
say.
fight, try to find it. It was a good one.
Mhm.
All right,
Oh
Johnny.
God, this
Let's
first
talk
fucking
about
fight.
the worst fighter on the card in terms of on that day.
Who'd
So,
you pick in this fight?
we both picked Shamil on this one.
Uh,
So we
Good.
both picked Shamil. I think Boudet was coming off a four-fight winning streak against a bunch of nobodies, but
This guy was the fucking favorite.
yeah, he
In
beat
what
Barnett,
world?
he beat Bresky, beat Collier, then he beat Parisian. So he was coming off a four-fight winning streak. Oh, let me
Hmm.
go to this card real quick. Let me pull up the
Again,
numbers.
just I watch all these YouTube commentary. I'm like, how could you ever even put money on this guy? How?
Honestly, I have no idea. He looked so bad. It was ridiculous.
He's
So
so fucking bad.
here's the striking. So total strikes was 60 for Shamil, 13 for
Hmm.
Boudet. And you know what the scary part about 13 total strikes is?
Hmm.
He landed 50% of his total. So in the whole fight, he threw 26 punches.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
bro, this
half
guy's
of
ass.
what
He was
Shamil
playing
landed.
professional video games.
I know Shamil was. He's a professional video gamer, starts training, and then kicks the shit out of this guy who's probably been training his whole life.
No, Martin Boudet, I thought was
I thought Shamil was the gamer.
no, Shamil's straight up Dagestani. I think Martin Boudet
Are you
was
saying
the
Dagestani people can't play video games, Johnny?
they're most likely wrestling and shit and
Alright,
fucking
let's Google it. Let's Google it.
no. Shamil was the volleyball player for Dagestan. That's what I remember.
Okay, so maybe it was Boudet. Well, Boudet,
He was, dude. He
maybe you
weighed
should go
like over
back to
300 pounds.
Valorant or whatever you were playing. Maybe some League of Legends, whatever pleases your heart. Um, that was a terrible performance. Um, at the end of the first round, with how it's going, you might as well have just, threw in the towel because you essentially did at the start of the second round when you just threw three total strikes and landed one and then just found your first way out and then took it. Honestly, this fight was disappointing. If you took this fight on the fight card, it was basically a perfect fight card minus Colby, Leon.
Hmm.
But yeah, this fight was embarrassing. Boudet, I don't know what to say, man. You won four straight, so obviously you have some skill. I don't want to just trash on you, but this fight, I don't know if you just didn't show up or Shamil's just that good. But I will admit, Shamil did look very good. Constant pressure, volume. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say. He threw 90 strikes in the first round. Shamil did landed 45 of them, and he throws power in every single shot. So he at least has somewhat of a gas tank for a heavyweight. I'm just curious to see who they give Shamil next and see how he does. Boudet, I don't give a shit about. Give him
Hmm.
Almeida.
Oh, I thought for a second I don't know why I thought Boudet was ranked, like low ranked, but he's not.
No, I
Um,
think he was just out, if I remember them talking about it correctly on
to
the.
be honest, I like Shamil, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys he can beat,
Give him
but then
Tybura.
once he gets to that top echelon, I think that he's gonna get absolutely fucked.
So let's go to heavyweight here. No, they should give him Jarzinho. That's what they should do.
I think even Jorginho, he can run through him with the wrestling and the
Hey,
grappling.
and I think so too. And that would be a good fight for Jarzinho to get back on track if he can do it. And if not, we can get a new heavyweight prospect going,
Hmm.
Whatever happens, I need this guy to lose next.
Which
Um,
guy? Charlton.
Yeah, get out of my heavyweights. If you're just gonna wrestle and not throw punches, get out of my heavyweight division. We don't need you here. We don't want you here.
He's fighting Curtis.
PFL, go wrestle your way to $1 million in PFL and let no one watch you. That's what I would prefer.
Hey, I watched PFL.
All right, go appease Johnny and go join the PFL.
I thought you were gonna call me a nobody in it and that I don't fucking count.
Johnny, do you see the screen right now?
I do see the screen right
After
now.
John Jones, those are your three favorite divisions. So shut up.
Women's pound for pound, women's strawweight, and
No,
women's
no.
flyweight.
Women's
What's
strawweight,
up?
women's flyweight, women's bantamweight.
Oh,
Johnny,
I
if
didn't see
if
the
if our
bantamweight at the
fans
bottom.
didn't
Okay.
know, I watch all the male fights. Actually, I watch all the fights. Johnny just tunes in for the women's fights. The men fights he says are too scary. Um.
I like Zhang Wei Li,
Oh,
so don't
dude,
hate.
let's go over the women's pound for pound real quick. Grasso, dog. Whaley, dog. Shevchenko, dog. Juliana Pena, way overrated.
Grasso is not pound for pound. What the fuck is that?
Well, it should be Whaley. It should go Whaley, then Grasso.
It's Wei Li all day.
Yeah, it has to be Whaley. Then I think Grasso number 2 is good. Valentina 3 makes sense. I cannot believe they have Pena at 4 after how bad
That's,
she looked in her last fight.
yeah, that's insane. Oh my god, that is insane.
Aaron Blanchfield at 5'2 seems high.
Honestly, this women's bantamweight division at the bottom is some of the most pathetic shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, the bantamweight division is they struggle for that to find women for that
Like,
one.
I think Raquel Pennington is just awful.
Who do you think is the
She's
best
number
woman
2.
in bantamweight? I'm curious. I will say who I think.
She's a dog, but like, dude, Raquel just does not. She looks like way past
I think
her prime.
Myra Bueno Silva might be the best in bantamweight.
Bantamweight? Oh, fuck. I
It's a bad
don't
division.
even know. I literally don't even know. I feel like on their day, anyone can beat anyone
Oh, no,
except for
that
maybe Yana Santos.
100%.
Literally.
All right, let's
It's
go.
fucking awful.
Women's flyweight. You know who I really am a fan of?
Who?
Manon Fior.
Manon Fiorot?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know.
I think
I
she's
feel
good.
like if Rose didn't break her pinky finger, Rose would have taken her down, maybe. I don't know.
She didn't.
She
But-
didn't.
Yeah,
Because she
no,
broke her pinky finger, fucked up.
I'm a fan of her. And then I think we both in agreements in strawweight. It's Whaley all day.
hmm No, I think the chick to look out for in the flyweight is Natalia Silva, number 10. She's actually disgusting and can fuck up a lot of these chicks.
You're in flyweight? Yeah, no, she is good for flyweight, 100%.
She is really good.
I like I'm not even trying to pronounce that name, but the other Chinese women fighter.
Yan Xiaonan.
Thank you. Yeah, she's good
She's
too.
so fucking good.
Her versus Whaley is gonna be a crazy one.
Oh, I bet big on her when she KO'd fucking Andrade.
So unfortunately, everyone, we do not have more UFC until January 15th, which is UFC 297 Strickland versus Duplessis. So, we'll probably still hop
No.
on once or twice a week and just talk random MMA stuff until we get to here. But thank you everyone for watching. This is Two Fans, One Octagon. I am Brandon. This is Johnny. Leave a like, subscribe, comment. Much love. We